Hello, everybody. Good evening. Big shout outs to the African Superstar family. It's the one and only African Superstar live back at it again with a unpopular opinions. So first of all, I want to give a big shout outs to the customers at afrikansuperstar.com. Thank you for shopping with me for almost 3 good years. Our anniversary is coming up on November 1st. So big shout outs to the afrikansuperstar.com and all of our customers. Next, big shout outs to our members only who are designated by the circles next to their name. Big shout out to Michelson is here representing for members only. And he's the first in the chat room. Big shout outs, guys. Hello, hello, hello. It's Unpopular Opinions live. Live. So make sure you hit the like button and be on one accord with the family. Also, big shout outs to the African Superstar music lovers. I did release my latest music video, Come Chill With Me. It's here on YouTube. It's on the community tab and whatnot. It's also available for download streaming on all platforms. And you can purchase the track at bandcamp.com. So you can look for the African Superstar, the one and only, yes, and support our music project. All right, guys, tonight what I want to talk about is Black people are the only ones who can create the solution for other Black people. Okay. And I actually went and got my hair done today. Hello. Yes. I was talking about it the other day. Went and got my hair done. It looks amazing. It looks beautiful. And I was thinking about this topic when I was actually at the salon today. So I wanted to talk about it. Big shout outs, Black Beauty always. Guys, if you're here, leave me something in the chat room so I can greet you. You can also support the stream and be a part of the conversation. So I was sitting in the salon today and I was getting my hair braided. I went to a new salon today. I think she did a pretty good job. Huh? What? Yes. Yes. This is my signature African Superstar look. Huh? And basically my normal hairdresser, Gladys, she's been a bit unavailable for me lately. I think she might be going through something. I don't know. But she's been unavailable. And so because I've been in town, I've had events and things like that, I needed to sort out my hair, which required me having to find new hairdressers. Now, shout outs to the ladies. If we have any ladies in the room and know that hairdresser struggle, let me see a number one. Hello. Hello. The hairdresser struggle is real. Okay? It's real. So basically, I had to quickly find a new hairdresser. Okay, now, when I lived in the UK, finding a hairdresser was such a real task. Okay, even on my recent trip, you know, my girl Sarah, who has been doing my hair for several years in the UK, she recently delivered a new baby, so she was heavily pregnant when I was in the UK and unable to do my hair. It caused a major scramble to the point that I was just like, all right, well, I'm just going to rock these cornrows while I was in town because it was to the max. Thank you guys so much for the family. Big Special K with the first super chat. I appreciate you. What's up, family? Yes, I'm here. I'm talking about only Black people can provide the solutions that Black people need. I think when we understand this fact, we're going to be a lot better off in life because we're going to stop waiting on other people to create solutions for us and facilitate the change that we need. We're going to actually take initiative and take ownership of that and do it for ourselves. So anyway, Gladys was unavailable. I had to find a new hairdresser. So yesterday I went and did my nails. Huh? You see, all I really do here in Ghana is look good. Literally go out, party, go to the gym, go to the salon, make music, go to the beach, huh? So I was at my nail salon yesterday and I was talking to the lady and I was like, man, you know, I need to do my hair, but, you know, I've been trying to find somebody. And she was like, oh, I know somebody. She was like, come back here today and I'll take you over to the salon. And so the lady from the nail shop, huh? What? Now, mind you, they do hair in the nail shop. I mean, it's a full service salon. The salon I go to, it's full service. But you know, in East Legon, the prices for all the services is a lot. So I had contacted a couple of these Instagram hair, and they was the prices was unbelievable they was giving me. You know, and obviously when I contact people through my Instagram, they go to my Instagram, they look me over, and they're like, "Oh, she's rich, you know, she's music, you know what I mean?" So it's like they give me crazy prices. So anyway, the lady at the nail shop said, "Come back, meet me at the salon tomorrow, and I'll take you over to." There was like a salon in the the neighborhood, a local salon, and all this led me to this thought. I'm giving you guys, I know it's like a long context, but I got to give y'all the whole context of how I came to this topic. So I goes in there, I show the lady the picture of obviously my signature hairstyle, and I explained to her what I want and all of that. And after my very first episode at this lady, this is the outcome. And I was just thinking about how there's an abundance of what I need here on the continent. More specifically in Ghana, because I live in Ghana, but for those of you guys in other countries, big shout out to Kiaria. Hi guys, if you're here, hit the likes. I know you're here to see me, so don't be like that. Hit the likes, show your love, greet me in the chat room, and I will greet you back. There's an abundance of what I need here on the continent. Something as simple as finding a new hairdresser. I mean, it's not really simple at all, but there is here in Ghana, probably on any given road, at least 2 or 3 salons. I can go and get braids. I can maybe buy a wig if that's my thing. I can get a wash and blow dry. You know what I mean? Hairdressers all over the place. Okay. I like tilapia and banku. Those of you guys that are in the chat room, Ghanaians, or those of you that have been to Ghana, list your favorite Ghanaian food. Okay. Let me see some of your favorite Ghanaian foods. Mine is tilapia and banku. Okay. On any given road here in Accra, I can find tilapia and banku. Okay. I don't have to really look that hard to get tilapia and banku. Another one of my favorite dishes is egg stew and yam. Okay. There's somebody on the boat food app that does a great egg stew and yam. So I usually order it a couple times a week. Now in the UK, unless I'm cooking egg stew and yam, there's nowhere I can order egg stew and yam. There's nowhere I can order tilapia and banku. A lot less options, guys. And what we have to realize is, in the same context that I'm enjoying the availability of things that I need and want here on the continent, things I enjoy, the kind of nightlife I like, the kind of men I like for dating, access to the beach. We're having a crazy rainy season, but generally nice weather, sunny weather. In the same context, I'm enjoying the continent, the homeland where our origins are from. We have to innovate the solutions to make our own lives better. Okay. It's no secret, for instance, that, you can get, when it comes to hair here on the continent, if you're someone like myself who's really into braids, I know that there's also like a lot of natural hair salons here popping up in Ghana, people that do like dreadlocks and all this stuff. You have a lot of variety here in Ghana about how you can do your hair with braid styles, all kind of stuff that will either cost you a fortune, abroad, or you having limited options. When we create the solutions for our own people, we cater solutions to our own people based on those needs, based on those demographics. That's how we solve the problems. Now let's just say I rolled up into a white salon in the UK. Let's say I go to like Paul Mitchell might have like, diverse people. I'm not sure. I've never been to Paul Mitchell, but Paul Mitchell is one of those like international, makeup studios and hair for non-Black people primarily. Now, if I walk up in Paul Mitchell, what's the probability I'm coming out with hair like this? Huh? If I go to Paul Mitchell, can they do Senegalese twists? What about micros? Would you go do your locks at Paul Mitchell? Huh? I'm just making the analogy that, we have specific needs. And there's nothing offensive of that, because people like to just try to gloss everything over and say, no, we're all one people. We're not that different, Gina, and we can all just peacefully coexist. The truth is, it's not the truth. Me and so many others have developed skin problems or health problems around the environment that we live in. My skin problem directly comes from a vitamin D deficiency that I developed after living in the UK for a couple years. Okay. There's no mystery that living here on the continent provides me vitamin D. Hello. I probably would have never even developed this skin condition had I been living here or in any other sunny environment, because we need more vitamin D. Okay. It's scientifically proven that people with melanin, especially the deeper your melanin is, the more vitamin D you need, because the melanin is a natural inhibitor to the sun. Okay. So that means we are built for the sun, and we need a lot of vitamin D to meet our bodily requirements of vitamin D. Okay. When we are in foreign environments that don't have vitamin D, we begin to develop conditions around that. The content that I provide, for instance, on this channel, who else is going to provide this content? Is a non-Black person going to provide this content? Has a non-Black person ever told you in a genuine and caring way to return to the continent? Or have they said it in a derogatory, negative way? Well, if you don't like it how it is here, you can always go home. You see, I create content for an audience of my peers, tailored. I understand your experiences because I have also had many of the same experiences. We need specific solutions catered to our people, created by our people. It's very difficult for people that can't relate to us to advise us on how to go forward in life. It's easy for them to give us guesstimates and say, oh, this is what you guys should do. Well, this is what I think, and blah, blah, blah. But they can't advise you from a realistic standpoint. This is an unpopular opinion because people are going to try to give all of us a one size fits all approach to life, and it's not accurate. We need, just the same way I wouldn't go to Paul Mitchell to do these braids. Okay. You can't even go into a lot of major drugstores, in the West and get beauty supply, things for our people. I understand they're expanding their collections now, but historically you couldn't get, certain hair grease and certain shampoos and all that stuff in the mainstream stores. You always had to go to a hair store. A beauty supply shop had those things. And I know I'm talking a lot about hair, obviously, because I just got my hair done. Big shout out, Superstar Bella. I see you there. Kiaria, thank you so much for the compliments. Yeah. But when we start to realize this fact of what I'm talking about today, we're going to be better off. When we realize that, for instance, for us to make the continent what we want it to be like, we have to create that. We have to create tailored solutions for our own people. Nobody else is going to do it. And if we're real, whatever we do, we want things in return. We need to have an interest in a lot of the things that we do. And nobody is going to care about our people the way that we would care. Because for those of us that do care about various things, we understand the impact to our people and all of that stuff. That's why we care. Big shout out to Prince Ayoko. I see you in the building, family. Thank you so much for stopping by. We got to provide our own solutions. You know, the way that we interact with each other. You know, we have to be the ones to mend that and create some unity. You know, we got to be the ones to end this gender war and create the renaissance of Black love and Black families. You know, we have to collectively and strategically support Black-owned businesses and services and programs. You know, because we've got to provide those answers for ourselves. You know, and so as I sat there with a brand new hairdresser who doesn't know me from Adam, you know, she really didn't speak a lot of English. She was speaking like tree. And I thought to myself, yeah, you know, this is just another testament to being in the place that's most ideal for me. I know it's not ideal for everyone and things like that, but there's just so much of an abundance of the things that I specifically want and need here, the availability. You know, it's amazing. I love kente cloth. You know, another thing that I can get here in Ghana that I would struggle or it would be very expensive abroad. I can go right down to the market and have a variety of kente cloth to select from. You know, I struggle to get projects accomplished abroad. Recently in the UK, working on my music video, project's still ongoing. You know, however, when I'm here in Ghana, I'm able to get stuff done quickly. You know, I've been able in the less than a year to do 4 full-length music videos here in Ghana. Because there's just an abundance of what I need and want here. I would say more specifically for you, you know, don't wait for anybody else to create solutions for you. I was also watching a program. They had a program on at the salon, of course, which was a big mega church here in Ghana. Okay. I mean, it looked like it was at least like, I don't know, 500 or 600 people in the congregation. Okay. All of them kind of hanging on the pastor's every word. And I was thinking like, man, how prolific would it be if that pastor said, hey guys, you guys need to go out there and get a skill. Hey guys, you need to focus on building up your community. You know, hey guys, how can we mentor and direct our children in the right way? Hey guys, love and prioritize your own people. Marry your own people. Have families with your own people. You know, if these pastors were delivering those kind of messages, how prolific would that have an impact on our community? You know, we've got to do it for ourselves. Nobody's going to do it for us, guys. Nobody's going to do it for us. You know, and I know a lot of people are lazy. And that's why they kind of want to outsource the outcome of their lives and they want to just hope for the best and they just kind of want to roll the dice and all of that. But guys, honestly, I wouldn't really be where I am today without extreme ambition. You know, refusing to succumb to the obstacles, refusing to listen to people around me and their negativity and their ignorance, refusing to sit down and constantly compelling myself to high performance. You guys just don't know how many times I sit down with myself and I'm like, okay, Gina, you can do this. You can figure this out. You know, sometimes you have something before you and then, you know, you need to back away for a little bit and then go back at it again and look at it again. You know, I'll tell you guys a little story. Big shout out to Afrikan Superstar family. Guys, make sure you like the stream. Please like the stream. I might open up the call lines. I don't know, but y'all be kind of long-winded. So if I open the call lines, please be mindful of that. So big shout outs, Jackie. Thank you so much, baby. SMP. I see you there, sweetheart. What's up? What's up? What's up? Big shout outs to you. Yes, it's a fact. I refuse. I refuse so many things. I reject so many things. And I said, no, no, no. I'm gonna go forward, irrespective of whatever I'm dealing with. So I'm gonna tell y'all a little bit of history with Ghana is Good for Me. Okay, one of my, hit songs. Yeah, we have over 6,000 views currently on that video here on YouTube. So if you have not checked out my Ghana is Good for Me official music video, head over and do that after this video. Also, you can download it. You can purchase it at bandcamp.com. So I actually began Ghana is Good for Me. I began to write it in March of 2021. I had traveled to the UK to handle some business. I was staying at a good friend of mine, Tawo's house, and I wrote a little bit of the song. And I took it to Tawo and I let her hear it. And I said, what do you think about this? And she was like, as classically as she classically is, anything Afrikansuperstar, anything Gina, she's an amazing person. But anyway, she said, wow, this is nice. I like this. Keep at it. You should record it. And I promised her then that when I got back to Ghana, I was going to go and record the song. So when I originally wrote the song, I had the first verse. I wrote that first verse, March 2021, vitamin D on a Monday. I had all that. The second verse, I kind of struggled with that originally. So I had to sit back and revisit the song later. So later on that year, I was back in the UK for, the summer period, July, August, September, I was there. And that's when I actually completed Ghana is Good for Me. That's when I actually wrote also Ghana Roll Call. Okay. So when I immediately got back to Ghana in October of 2021, I recorded those tracks and I shot Ghana Roll Call was the first video. All right. I tell you this story to say that, it was my very first song, and I'm getting to be a songwriter, but historically I have not been a songwriter. And I was fooling with the song the first time and I was like, I needed to tweak it and I didn't really like it, blah, blah, blah. When I came back in, I was able to complete the song and I loved the song. I think it came together very well. Sometimes you gotta back out of the situation and revisit the situation and sort it out. Sometimes when you come back, you'll find that it's easier to devise the solution in the first place. You'll see things that maybe you didn't see the first time or whatever. And that's what I do, guys. That's a regular practice. Big shout outs for the family. Oh yeah, Ingrid's down in Florida. Big shout outs. I understand they got a hurricane that's coming that way. So I hope that you are safe and secure. I mean, maybe you evacuated. I hope so. Cause I don't know, y'all be riding out them storms. But if it was me, I don't know. Storms getting more and more. Storms are getting more and more intense these days. So guys, if you're in a position, please get yourself to safety. If you're in a very questionable situation. But big shout outs. Ingrid is on hurricane watch and she's still supporting the channel. Big shout outs to Ingrid for that super chat. I see you there, sweetie. So big shout outs. Be safe. Any of our other viewers that are in Florida or the coastal regions that could potentially be affected, please be safe. My thoughts are with you and I'm hoping for the best and I hope for your safety and all of that stuff, guys. Not too much damage to your property and blah, blah, blah. So yes. So, this is an unpopular opinion. Obviously, people, I mean, we know in this 2022, everybody's so allergic to the truth. But I'm just trying to tell y'all the reality, which is nobody's going to have our best interests in mind. Nobody's concerned about our needs. We've got to prioritize that. And I found that by taking initiative of my life and my goals and just making those a priority and constantly trying to, figure out the way through. I mean, I have a life that I'm so proud of, to be honest. I have a life that I'm very proud of because I solve a lot of my own problems. I just take them on. And sometimes we run from the problems, we deliberate over the problems, we talk about the problems, we give a lot of energy to the problem, the problem surrounding the problem, or maybe even the fallout of the problem, and not solving the problem. Let's just say, for instance, you have a broken chair in your house. Big shout outs to Take. I see you there. Guys, if you're here, show me some love in the chat room. Big special shout outs to my super chat donors. Thank you guys so much. Members only, who's here represented by the circle next to their name. All the African Superstar family, lovers of the African Superstar, I love you too. Everybody sending our well wishes to those in Florida or in the hurricane path. I know there was a hurricane that just that went by Bermuda, which is where I have a lot of family. My mom is from Bermuda. So thankfully the damage wasn't extensive, like, as bad as it could get. So it must be hurricane season. And we're actually having a lot of rain here in West Africa. I spoke to a couple of my friends in Nigeria last week, and they were also saying they're having this really rainy weather. We're having a lot of rain here in Ghana. So it must be hurricane season, what I gather, because that's all of that is the Atlantic Ocean. For those of y'all that don't know geography, the body of water between the US and Africa, which also the Caribbean is set in, is the Atlantic Ocean. Okay, so we're kind of probably dealing with the same storm systems and whatever. Big shots. Yeah, we have a lot of folks connected to Florida, I see. So I do send out my well wishes to anybody potentially affected. But essentially, guys, just solving your own problems. You have this broken chair in your house and you're looking at it. I think anybody have a chair with like a wiggly leg? Wherever I go, I always find the chair with the wiggly leg, and it's so annoying. Me and Monica go out and we go to our night spots and stuff. I swear, I'm like a magnet for the chair or table with the wiggly leg. Now you can sit at that table, every day with the wiggly leg, or get in that chair every day, and you just talk about, you hate it. It's annoying. Or you could fix the table or replace it. If it's a chair with the wiggly leg, you can replace that one day. You can fix it in one day. In this instance, you've been dealing with that wiggly leg for a whole year. Lamenting the chair, sitting in it, rocking. You get in it. Sometimes you think you might fall over. You're just really suffering with that. The time that you could have just solved it, that you could have just been like, okay, I'm going to deal with this chair today. Today's the day that I deal with the chair. So basically, guys, this was my unpopular opinion. It was motivated by the reality that we need to fix our own situation. Big shout out to Derek. Black people in the diaspora have been begging for equality for centuries, and they still haven't got it. And it's safe to say they never will get it. We also talk a lot about the miseducation of our kids, and we do nothing about it. We also talk about violence in our communities. That was another thing that I was thinking about. A culmination of things brought up this topic. I also watch, obviously like a lot of crime clips, clips of news stories and things that's happening in the US. And there was a beautiful young lady down in Texas. She recently graduated law school. She had just got the job offer from the firm that she wanted to work for. And she, bought a new car. She was really excited, and it was like a really great season for her life. So she went to celebrate with her boyfriend who lived, a little ways from her hometown. She went there, and her boyfriend had the intention of actually engaging her on that night. He had already told her family members and stuff like that. So they decided to go to this lounge, and they were just chilling and kicking it. Some dude got into an altercation and started shooting in the club. And guess what? This young lawyer, dead. Gone. Her boyfriend never even had an opportunity to engage her. And as a result, they did the community, march, and we need to stop this violence. We talk about it. What's at the root of violence? What's at the root of senseless violence? Is no self-worth. This is crazy. But this is another one of the reasons that, for instance, me, I can't be in that environment because I have a very valuable life to myself and others. And you see, when people don't have self-worth, they don't care what happens to you. They don't care what happens to them. People that have self-worth count up the cost whenever they're making decisions, because they think about, okay, first of all, they think about, how is this going to impact me? How is this going to benefit me? And then they may think about the others around them. They might think about the future ramifications. They might think about their image, and you guys are living, unfortunately, in the West. You're living in a place where people don't have self-worth. So they're willing to do crazy things for no reason. So you have an altercation with somebody in a club, and you decide to start shooting up in the club. Okay. End up, I believe 2 people were killed. But certainly the woman was an innocent bystander. She didn't even know those people. She wasn't even from that town. She just was at the wrong place at the wrong time. But at the end of the day, there's a huge psychological issue in vacuum with our people in the West. And I was explaining this to a friend that I met up with today at Accra Mall, which is when a people feel completely invisible and they feel helpless, they start acting out because they need it's really a cry for help. They need to be seen. They need to be acknowledged. And since they can't be acknowledged as, a normal part of society, they're degraded and suppressed, and they're not even seen as, a valuable entity. Then they become a menace to society because they need to be seen. They want to cause a ruckus. They want to make noise. They want to cause a commotion. And that's the stage that many of our people are in the West. They basically are having an excessive temper tantrum when things don't go their way. Oh, you want to talk stuff to me? Oh, you want to look at my girl? Oh, you want to do this and that? There's no reason such situations should become fatal. A disagreement like that should not become fatal. But because they don't have self-worth, because they're not thinking about, wow, this is not a good look, this is not a good move, this could hurt innocent people. All they're thinking about is, nah, I need to be seen. We like flexing with our people. We don't like flexing with the people that are really responsible for the situation. For the, situation, the dichotomy that happens in the West, we don't really want to take action against those responsible, do we? Big shout outs to the African Superstar family. Yeah, I see you guys leaving your comments about it in here. Prince Ayoko says, very sad. I wish people can go back to the old school. The new school is so confusing, violent, and disorganized. Jackie says, question is, why do they need the attention? That's why it's called mental sickness. They need the attention, Jackie, because they're having a deficit of attention. A lot of this comes from their initial upbringing. Okay, so what happens is, all right, it's again, this goes back to physics. All right, let's say you have a cup of water and you fill it up, and let's say you put a ball in the water. Okay, naturally, you put a ball in the water, some of the water is going to get displaced. Okay, so what happens is the foundation is already messed up. Okay, when that young person is growing up and when that young person is developing and things, they're not getting the affection and the attention, and they're not getting perhaps the family environment that they need, and they're not getting confidence and self-worth. So guess what? They grow up, and just like that ball of water, that ball in the water, okay, they have deficiencies now. There's lack. So they start craving all these things from society. And we know that the world is a dog-eat-dog world. Okay, especially when you become an adult. People don't care about your problems. At least when you're a little baby, I mean, fortunately, if you have good family or whatever, you're a baby, you cry, your mom and dad comes, picks you up, feed you, change your diaper, whatever. Even if you're an adult, you have good family. You call them up, you talk to them, you bring your problems to your parents. Sometimes you might ask them for some money or something. Okay, when you don't have that availability, you start acting out into the world, and you start displacing that on everybody else. So that young man that perpetuated the crime, he got into a fight with this guy in a club. He needed to be seen. He needed to be heard. He didn't want this guy to get away with disrespecting him, so he had to do something. Now, had that young man understood how valuable he is, and thereby how valuable other people are, he would have chosen to handle that situation in a different way. Because his self-worth would say, well, you know what? There's consequences for this behavior. Either this guy or his homies could retaliate. I could get caught by the cops. I could get involved in a shootout and die. There's a lot of negative things that can come from me taking certain actions. But there was no self-worth. All there was a reactive nature. And that's why you have this influx of violence all in America. It's very easy for me to see. It's coming from the deficiencies in those individuals, which is coming from the broken family situation in the beginning. You have people that are insecure. You have people that don't know how to handle their temper. You have people that have no problem resolution skills. And then you combine that with them being armed, and you get shootouts for any damn reason. Shootouts for road rage, shootouts for domestic violence, shootouts for schools, shootouts for I lost my job, shootouts for my girlfriend left me. These are not situations that should become fatal, but because people have all these deficiencies, they start acting out to be seen. And we need to realize and begin to minister to the needs of our community. Starting with working on this gender war. Working on this gender war, guys. Because let's be honest, the rate of violence in America in the Black communities is exorbitant compared to the rate of violence here in Africa. So I refuse to believe that all of this violence and all this stuff is an innate characteristic of our people and a cultural aspect of our people. It's not. It has to do with the exposure in certain environments. You see, you can't sit in water and not be wet. There was a time when I was growing up. I'm about to wrap this up. Big shout outs to Afrikansuperstar family. Hit the lights, guys. Stop, pause, stop, drop, and roll, and hit the likes. Big shout outs to Afrikansuperstar family. There was a time when I was growing up, 80s, 90s. You would hear certain crime. You would hear about an incident that happened, a serial killer or something like that. And you would immediately know that that perpetrator was a white person. Okay, you would immediately know because of the nature of the crime. Okay, now, several decades later, you are seeing these kind of extremely perverse, violent crimes that have previously been associated with them. Now our people are being perpetrators of these crimes. You see, and all that says is that the chaos that is a part of, for instance, the American culture, those of us living in that environment have now begun to ingest those things. And because we don't also have our cohesive communities where we rebel against these things, our people are getting consumed by it. And just like Prince Ayoko says, it's critical that this is a time for self-reflection. Say, okay, we need to take control of this situation. It starts, in my opinion, it starts in the house. It starts in the home. I always learned that growing up, and I still believe that is very, very true. I didn't need to go out and seek attention from the whole world and anybody who listened and anybody give me an audience, because I got all the love and affection in my household from my family. To that effect, I'm very, very grateful, because a lot of these people are out here acting willy-nilly because they lack that. They lack that. And they need to be seen and they need to be acknowledged. So they want attention no matter what. That's a lot of these women that come out in the public eye and they have this like promiscuous images and all this stuff. They want attention, come hook or crook. They want money, come hook or crook. Now, you look at the sophisticated, world traveled, classy women, and you look back at their history, look at their family lines. There's going to be a difference. There's a difference between a man who has exposure to, masculine men, good male examples in his life, versus men that don't. And that's going to be the only thing. There's two things right now. I can give you a solution right now for the American gun violence. There's two things to do. First of all, is eliminate access to guns for civilians, which America refuses to do this, but that's the first and foremost thing that they should do. Okay. Civilians do not need weapons. Okay. We need to deal with the psychological reasons why people are resorting to violence in the first place. All right. So the number one thing is restrict, remove accessibility, reduce accessibility to guns for civilians. The second thing is a promotion of family and community. Because you see, where people have social norms, they are governed by social norms. They're governed by the opinions of their peers. Okay. They don't want to be seen as the outcast. They don't want to be seen as the person who's not taking care of business. They don't want to be seen as the person who's neglecting their kids or their family. You see, social standards are very important. And because the West has promoted all this individuality, and seeded this gender war and promoted feminism and all this stuff, you have people that have no accountability to their community. It's not even uncommon that people in the West don't even know their neighbors. I literally took a walk from my place to the shopping center yesterday to meet up with a friend. And it legit took me almost an hour. Almost every block I was running to somebody that I knew. And they were like, hey, how you been? I haven't seen you since. And Ghanaians have a remarkable memory here in Ghana. I can see a boat driver and they'll be like, oh yeah, I took you to Accra Mall back in September. You had on a pink shirt. You can go to a restaurant and they're like, oh yeah, you like that, whatever drink you like. They have a remarkable memory, and it's so, it's so appetizing to be a part of a community, where people know you, people notice you. And if you had a situation where you became ill or you were missing, nobody knew what happened to you, your community here knows that you exist, knows that you're around. It makes you feel loved. It makes you feel missed. It makes you feel noticed. And this is what we need. Clearly, we need this in the West because there's so many people that feel invisible. And when they feel invisible, they start acting out, and it becomes a dangerous world for all of us. Because when they start acting out, you never know when or where they're going to act out, and it could just be on any person. Big shout outs to the Afrikansuperstar family. So these are my thoughts and opinions today. Big shout outs to you guys. Thank you so much for stopping by. I firmly believe that we need to take the initiative to solve our own problems. That's it. That's all. Nobody's going to do it for us. I think that my life has gotten so much more dynamic as I took more control of it, and as I took governance over my problems, and I was able to create customized solutions to fit my life, solutions that no one else could have offered me. So that's what I wanted to talk to you guys about. Big shout outs to all of you guys that came out tonight. Big shout outs also to my super chat donors. We had Special K and also Ingrid, super chat donors showing their love and appreciation for the Afrikansuperstar content, family, and music. I appreciate it so much. We also have our members only here, represented by the circle next to their name. Michaelson represent for our members only today. So thank you guys so much for stopping by. If you have not seen my recent music video, go check it out. It's Come Chill With Me. I got the lyrics version and I have the official music video. It's on the community tab. So you'll want to check it out if you have not. You can also download it along with my 4 other tracks, total 5 tracks out currently. So thank you guys again. I'll see you again very soon. Until we meet again, stay black and true. If you ain't black, just stay true.